Hey, it's Dr. John Terry, the Black Belt Leader, and welcome to this Words of Wisdom Wednesday, where we take another look at leadership insights from the Bible. Now, whether you're a person of faith or not, the Bible is a collection spanning thousands of years of recorded human history. And in the 66 books of the Bible, you find examples of good leadership, bad leadership, poor leadership, great leadership, and what happened as a result of each. So having an opportunity to delve into history and to learn the lessons history wants to teach us gives us an opportunity to add the wisdom of good leadership and great leadership to our own, and to make sure that we're avoiding poor leadership and bad leadership along the way. Now, we're looking currently at the life of Joseph. And as we've had an opportunity to dig into the story so far, let me catch you up in case this is your first time joining me for an insight from the Bible. Joseph, as a young man, was envied by his brothers who were jealous of his favoritism shown by his father. They ended up selling the young man into slavery, and he ended up being a servant of the captain of Pharaoh's guard. Joseph excelled in leading in that particular area of his life and was put in charge of the captain of the guard's household until he was falsely accused of attempting to rape the captain of the guard's wife. Joseph then found himself thrown into prison where he had an interaction with the Pharaoh's cupbearer and his baker. Fast forward the story, the cupbearer was able to be restored to his position working with the Pharaoh and promised to remember Joseph and help him get out of prison as well. 2 years after that promise, the Pharaoh had a dream that he couldn't interpret and couldn't understand. Joseph, having helped the cupbearer understand a dream that he was having and seeing that dream actually come to fruition, remembered Joseph in that moment and brought him before the Pharaoh. Pharaoh shared his dreams. Joseph helped him understood what those dreams meant, and then went a step further, as good leaders do, to show him what he needed to do to prepare his country for what was coming. Joseph was put in charge of the entire country of Egypt as a result of demonstrating good leadership and being a visionary leader. And that's where we pick up the story for this lesson. Now, Joseph was 30 years old when he entered into the service of Pharaoh, and he went out from Pharaoh's presence and he traveled throughout Egypt. During the 7 years of abundance, the land produced plentifully. Joseph collected all the food produced in those 7 years of abundance in Egypt and stored it in the cities. So what do we learn from this particular passage? Here's what we learn. When it's time to lead, leaders go to work. What do we see Joseph doing? He takes a survey of the land to understand what is available, as he knows they're going to be facing famine in the future. And he goes to examine all of the fields, all of the farmland, to see what needs to be done to cultivate and grow as much food as possible before the famine strikes. And just like that, you as a leader need to survey the landscape of the area that you're leading, the business that you're leading, whatever organization that you are in charge of. You need to survey what's going on there and see what needs to be done. And then once you've completed that survey, just like Joseph, you devise a plan and you put it into action. Now, verse 53-54, the 7 years of abundance in Egypt came to an end, and the 7 years of famine began, just as Joseph had said. There was famine in all the other lands, but in the whole land of Egypt, there was food. So notice, not only when it's time to lead, leaders go to work. They survey the landscape, they see what needs to be done, they devise a plan, they put it into action. They understand this. Preparation is key to mitigating the challenges that lie ahead. A good leader like Joseph sees the danger ahead and prepares in advance to address it. And that's part of your role as a leader, is to look ahead and see the challenges, the obstacles, the dangers ahead, see the opportunities there to seize and prepare to address those issues in advance. What is preparation? It's simply doing the hard work in advance you know needs to be done to get ready for what's coming. And the story continues. When all Egypt began to feel the famine, the people cried to Pharaoh for food. Then Pharaoh told all the Egyptians, "Go to Joseph and do what he tells you. Now, again, when it's time to lead, leaders go to work. They understand preparation is the key to mitigating the challenges that lie ahead. Thirdly, when you've proven yourself as a leader, others are going to defer to your leadership. Remember, a good leader has a track record of getting things done, doing what needs to be done, following through, being a man or a woman of integrity, being consistent in their saying and their doing so that they build a reputation of excellence, black belt excellence, as I like to refer to it. Now, remember, that reputation in and of itself is going to cause other people, even those who may be in a higher leadership position than you, to look to you as the proven, established leader for guidance. And that's part of being a 360 leader. Not only do you lead those below you, you can lead those beside you and those above you. And it gives you an opportunity to lead where you are as you are. But it's only because you've proven yourself as a leader and you've got a demonstrated track record of success that other people are going to defer to your leadership. Now, let's wrap up this week's teaching, finish this part of the story. When the famine had spread over the whole country, Joseph opened the storehouses and sold grain to the Egyptians, for the famine was severe throughout Egypt. And all the world came to Egypt to buy grain from Joseph because the famine was severe everywhere. So let's recap and add one final point to today. Remember, when it's time to lead, leaders go to work. They survey the landscape to see what needs to be done. They implement a plan that they have devised and thought through. They put it into action. They are bold in their leadership. Understand that preparation is doing the hard work in advance to get ready for what's coming. That's how you mitigate the challenges that are going to be ahead. A good leader sees the danger ahead and does that preparation in advance to make sure that in the event something happens, they're ready and prepared as a team. And when you've proven yourself as a leader, others are going to defer to your leadership. But in that last passage of scripture, notice that not only was the entire world dealing with this issue, they turned to one place, and that was Egypt. Brings me to this last point, and that's this. Leaders see the big picture, and they plan accordingly. They don't just think into what is the minimum that needs to be done to address this issue. They think bigger, because often the same crisis you are facing as a leader, other people may be facing as well. So good leaders prepare not only to lead their team, but to also be the leader for other organizations and other teams that may need their wisdom, their guidance, their insight, and potentially their resources, as we see in this particular story today. Understand this: a visionary leader goes above and beyond. They think bigger and they take bold action. Hey, I hope you've enjoyed this leadership insight from the Bible. And if you want more leadership lessons, either faith-based or non-faith-based, you can follow me on my YouTube channel or my Rumble channel. It's Be a Black Belt Leader. That's Be a Black Belt Leader. YouTube and Rumble, you'll find those trainings and teachings on my video channels there. And if you're a person of faith and you want more leadership lessons from the Bible, let me encourage you to go to my website, of course, beablackbeltleader.com, and go to the courses area. There you'll find a free email series you can subscribe to that will give you 10 leadership lessons from the Bible that will give you an opportunity to get some additional insights into good leadership lessons learned from the scripture. And while you're there, let me encourage you to check out all of the free and paid content. You can also subscribe to my newsletter and my podcast. And on the Contact Us page, you'll see all the social media channels where daily I'm posting tips, tools, insights, and resources to help you become better at who you are and what you do as you discover, develop, and deploy your own unique Black Belt leader within. I'm Dr. John Terry, the Black Belt Leader. Thanks for joining me, and have a great day.